Let me start with something. Okay. You know, I think everybody in our locker rooms is a little embarrassed. That's human nature. We're not embarrassed to be a Belmont basketball program. We're embarrassed by the performance tonight. But Kansas had an awful lot to do with that. An awful lot to do with it. We're just disappointed. We feel like our program's the stage where very often we give people like this all they want and occasionally sneak a win, and we want to get to the point where we're winning a few more, and we just couldn't make this game competitive, and I thought they played great. So it's about all the intellectual stuff I got right now. Assuming any of you thought that was intellectual.
What did you know about Andrew Wade coming into the game?
Very, very, very little. You know, when you look at those numbers, and look, their defense was so much better that it affected our shooting numbers, and our defense was so poor that it affected theirs in the other direction. But when you look at what McLemore and Relaford and White did, and we weren't, you know, we felt like if you're going to beat Kansas, then those guys were shooting, at least the two starters were shooting around 30% from three, then you got to take away their drive, and if they make them, they're probably going to beat you, and probably was right. But you know, our game plan there was we felt like we really had to help on the post, and so when you had to close out on those guys, you closed out in control and tried to stop their drive, and they made the shots, and it just, you know, we were trying to hang in the first half, and they kept making those shots. And you know, when we beat Stanford this year, they were 2 for 19 from three, and it wasn't all us. You know, we just had it. We were a lucky night. So if they'd have been shooting 30%, we might have still been in that game pretty much throughout the first half. But don't get me wrong, it was a pretty solid beatdown from beginning to end.
Coach, what were your impressions of McLemore?
Yeah, I mean, again, if he can rise up and shoot it like that, he's just going to be a bear for anybody to guard. I mean, that was impressive, and he was shooting 31%, I think, from three. And again, our thought was approach him under control, get a hand up. If he makes shots, they're going to beat us. He's the real deal for sure. But you know, I thought, I don't know that Bill will think hardly any of his guys didn't have a good game, and we're coming off a really, really good, hard-fought, but really good defensive game for us Thursday night against a good team, and so it was disappointing to put up less of a fight defensively tonight.
Coach, can you talk about the role Trevor Nowak played tonight? I mean, typically he plays in the post, but he still had the most three-point shots with the whole team tonight.
Well, Kansas did a really good job against us, but there was no question that if we were going to be successful offensively, that part of it had to come from drawing, from him setting ball screens and his man having to help on the ball screens and him spotting up and making shots. And but I thought Kansas did a really good job of covering back, and they got a couple of deflections on Trevor, and they made it tough. We had to take shots quicker than we'd like to, but Trevor has played. I mean, he's been the biggest plus, the biggest. I don't think he surprises all of us that see him every day, but for people who've been around our program, he's been easily the most pleasant surprise and a consistent one, game in and game out.
Questions for Coach Trevor? Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Good job, Trevor.